Stop. 3, 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
Hey up, everybody. How you? Wait a minute. There's someone missing. Who are we missing?
Where is she? I think she's
Jackie.
gone.
Where are you? Gone able, haven't you?
Oh, dear Jackie, where are you?
Jackie didn't come back. We was only joking. We didn't. Oh,
What have you done?
oh dear. Anyway, well, we'll just say hello to everyone in the house instead. Jackie, you stay there. Right. Hello. What's this? Internet problems. Yeah, whatever. Jackie's got internet problems. Okay. Well, Jackie will join us in a little while. Anyway, right. Say hello to Chuck and Ray, Captain Ray. Been here half a day. Mikey. He's there. And who else we got? Patrick and Julio and Caroline. Hi, Caroline. Brian, Jerry, Steve Knowles, Laurie, Northeast FPV. I'll have to get a name written down sometime. Hey, and Sally. Hi, Sally. And on Mike and Yvonne. Hi, both. If you're both there, or if you've got Mike, or just Yvonne. Anyway, right. So, well, we've got no Jackie, so we'll bring our guest on instead.
Yeah.
We've got to fill the screen. We've got to fill the screen up, Terry, haven't we?
Somehow.
I know, we'll fill it out with that guest. Well, let's just play some music. Here we are.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
Hey, Bernie! Hello, everybody. How you doing, Bernie? We got to sign me up. What did I say, Bob? PD sign. Yeah, that's the one. How you doing, Bernie?
I'm plugging it.
Yeah, well, you got to plug it. I just love the little propellers there as well.
How is everyone?
We're good.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Everybody, thanks.
Muy bueno.
Some moves going back because it's making me a headache now. I'll tell you, let's put Bernie up there. That's better, right? Okay. That's all Jackie's fault because Jackie hasn't filled the screen up.
Do you think Jackie will be joining us?
Oh, she's got internet problems.
Who really knows, Bernie? I mean, Jackie, a little bit flighty.
Quick
She's
hello
been
to
pretty reliable.
Right, so yeah, let's get rid of. We've got banners flying around the place. Anyway, so Bernie, you've been doing some great flying.
Thank you very much.
You've been watching. So, how are you getting on? It looks like you're getting on really well with your DJI FPV drone. Are you enjoying it?
Well, I've had it for about September, so that's almost 6 months, something like that. And I like it very much for what it does. I wish the camera was a little better though. So
Really?
Maybe the second generation, the camera will be a little bit better.
Okay.
It is not as smooth as the beta flight controls.
Right.
They seem to be the beta flight controllers are amazing. It's like a gimbal for your drone, and that along with the stabilization with the GoPro, you don't have to do anything. Post. You really don't for the most part. Non-Hollywood stuff. But overall, I like its reliability. I like the signal. I like the distance. I like the picture. If you can see, you can fly.
Have you crashed it yet, Bernie?
No.
That's good to hear. I want to know what happened if you did, but I don't want to. Yeah.
Have you got onto manual yet, Bernie?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I take off and land in sport.
Uh-huh.
Meaning I just take off, get up to about 50 feet, hover it, put it in manual, and go.
So
Yeah.
when you put it from manual back to sport, do you actually use the button on it, or do you just literally
You have to
flick it
use
back?
I use the button. I don't know any other way, and it usually makes the camera do whoa whoa whoa, and then the elevation manual and altitude hold. Hey, look at that! Hello, Jackie.
Jackie,
And technical problems.
yeah, Jackie's had internet problems.
Got fat fingers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah,
Cheers, Bernie.
cheers.
It's still midday for us here.
So what are you doing today, Bernie? You're bunking off work?
Well, it's Saturday. It's Sunday, so I'm not working today. And we had a time change, so we lost an hour. It is actually, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock now instead of 12. So I had a whole extra hour to kind of prepare and kind of get a something behind me.
Yeah,
I figured my shop was too messy. But loving the DJI FPV. It is it is just if you lose signal. Now I fly at my flying field all the time, and there's a lot of other people there. A lot of other people. It could be any given time. There could be no less than 5 and as many as 15, maybe even 20. So
Wow.
signal gets a little bit little difficult. And if I'm flying far away and these guys are all flying local around the structures that, the FPV structures, they are louder and closer, or they're closer, which makes them louder. So if I'm at the perimeter of the field, I am kind of vulnerable, but it's a pretty good it's pretty strong. And if I have any interference, even in manual, it will come to a stop, hover, and wait for you to do something.
How do you go with the because we only called Brian, who's in the chat here. Here somewhere. He was saying he actually replaced the only actual surround, the edges, the padding that goes around on the goggles. He changed his. He said he didn't like it very much.
No, and I got an aftermarket foam set. I believe it's a DJI replacement, and that seemed to be a little bit better. It is a little rough on my nose, and I get a little gap. So if I'm facing the wind, I can feel air kind of come in.
Okay. Did you get that on yours, Terry?
No.
Pardon me?
No, my nose is too big.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It fills the whole screen.
So if I adjust it just right, it's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful picture.
I love it. I just think it's so good.
So did my uncle, didn't he, Terry?
Chuck said he changed his.
He did. He loved it, didn't he?
So Chuck changed his foam as well, because it's just Velcroed on that foam, isn't it? It's just literally.
Yes, it is. You know what? And it was my foam was a aftermarket. It wasn't from DJI.
Right.
And I got a couple, and I tried one. It didn't really help. The stock one really hurts my face. It pushes down so hard on my nose.
What I found about Bernie is the fact that because that plastic feel to it, it just becomes like
No, the one I have is a foam. It's a soft foam, and there is some play. And I have it kind of cranked down so I can move my head without
So have you got to think? What do you do with the battery?
In my pocket or in my sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Brian
was saying he's got a little clip that goes on the back behind. Sometimes found the weight of it. I tried that one. I did have a little clip, and the person who told me to use it fell off. It was dangling. So
I'm not a big fan of that either. The weight on your goggles, it's already kind of heavy as it is.
Yeah.
And so I tuck my cord in my shirt. Usually I'm wearing layers, so it can go in between my t-shirt and a sweatshirt or the jacket. It comes out the bottom and then goes into a pocket. And that way, when I'm done flying and I step up to go get my drone, I don't, my battery doesn't fall off the table and end up on the ground and stuff like that. So I've never dropped my battery.
The biggest problem I have, I go to take the goggles, I put them down, I still feel it's still connected to this cable.
Yes.
I'm going to pull it out one day and break the socket on it, but let's hope not.
Yeah, so be careful with that little fitting. You want to you don't want to turn it off by unplugging it that way unnecessarily. But I mean, if you're done flying for a bit, I usually unplug it and my cord just dangles in front of me.
Oh, okay. So you just disconnect that, so just in case so you can if you want to put your goggles
I can, yes, and then it just dangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another thing to remember.
Hey, look at this, look. Top man, see, Bernie's always been an avid supporter of Drone Seekers. Big fan, big supporter. Which for a long while now, Bernie. We've known each other now for it's got to be what
years.
Since you've taken over.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I think before that, because I think you usually come on the show before, didn't you? Before all that.
I think so, with Sean, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, let's face it, that's how we got to know each other. I mean, Jackie was living in Spain. I said, we're having a barbecue, and Jackie said, can I come? that wasn't Jackie. And me thinking Jackie lived in the same area. So, where do you live? Oh, about an hour away.
That's a barbecue.
It's free food. It's free food, Steve. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do it all again, mate, on the 18th of May. It's in the diary.
So I am so fortunate to have a group or a place to fly at the my local flying field. I'm sure you've seen it with the some of the structures that I built.
The frames. Oh, did you build all them? Did you?
I did.
Well, is it just plastic tubing then?
No. The gates are plastic tube, but the structures are made out of 2x4, and they're not forgiving. But they have withstood 3 years so far without, they've sustained some hard hits, and they're still there.
Before one 2x4, one length of 2x4 was $150.
What?
Well, no.
Well, it used to be really
3 years ago was actually pretty reasonable. You could get a 16-foot 2x4 for about $7 or $8.
Yeah.
And I used quite a few to make that big cube. And I use I don't really go through the structures too much, but I'll use them as a focal point to practice approaching and tilting down, or pulling away and tilting up, or all kinds of stuff. But not going through it, but using them as a guide, focal point.
It's got.
I flight master. No, didn't you? Okay.
You get on with that.
No, I mean it's great to sort of know what other people are using. I can't think of what Brian's was. If Brian, if you're here somewhere, where he got it from. I don't think it was DJI. I think it was my phone select and install better phone. Yeah.
Could you guys excuse me for a minute? I need to get my readers so I can see the comment.
Okay. So
I'll be right back.
You're right, man.
I'm gonna do a Terry.
I just cleaned mine for that reason.
There we go. That's better.
See?
Scott. You got Scott. No, Scott.
Hi, Jackie. Again in the place.
I don't know who Scott was. But Jackie
I've spoken to Scott already today.
Have you been on another show?
No. Only in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what Mikey was on about, but he wasn't here. He was saying, "Oh, Jackie, thanks for your support earlier on." I go,
"What
have you been up to?" Aftermark from Amazon.
It's going jerky again. I hope my internet's not going.
Terry message Thunderbird. What?
Yeah.
I've seen all these notes for you. I've seen loads of what's this? Ice Ross. So Ross has put his name on it. Well done, Ross. Yeah. Someone's just like
How's the
Facebook
floods in
users.
Australia, Ross?
Oh yeah.
Because they were bad. weren't
What's this? It's trapping upgrade digital phone.
they?
That's interesting. We have to look. What's this?
Upgraded foam. I've not heard of that one.
Upgraded DJI phone.
Yeah.
Ethics head strap. And I've got to write this down.
All right,
There
I'm back.
he is. He's back.
Ethics.
Can't see the glasses.
Ethics.
Floods are
Oh, there they are.
subsiding. They're going away. You only
Good
had
luck.
16. You only had 16 inches of rain today.
Oh.
Well, Bernie,
I'm
your eye
glad things
test
are
up.
improving.
You read that.
There's the eye test.
I can see really good with these
You
things.
won't be able to see
Excellent.
much of that. You got your
I can see really good. I don't-
put the drone on your head and you point the
You-
Hello.
I'm prepared today.
Oh,
You're like a big bumblebee, Bernie.
have
Bumblebee?
you flown
Yeah,
that lately?
With eyes like that.
I want to get some stuff on here. You know, the eyeballs.
Well,
Yeah.
I wrapped all mine, and of course, when it went wrong, I had to take all the wrap off and just ruined it all. So I've got the on there now. We'll get some more.
We'll get Stephen Deere's daughter to make one. She makes them, doesn't she?
Hmm.
Who?
Yeah.
One of our
Yeah,
members,
the
Stephen.
Final
Yeah.
stickers and stuff.
Oh, the sticker girl or the decal girl or
No, that's
I can't think of the name of her channel, but
I bet Anya could do something though as well, couldn't she? With a
Anya could as well. Yeah, she
oh,
could.
with the old yeah. What it's called now?
decals or whatever they're called.
Quick. Oh, it's called
Oh, look! Something good's coming. Here it is.
whoa.
I thought you were about to say backpack, jackpack,
Minnesota. Winds
Minnesota.
are terrible. Yeah,
Minnesota.
And the weatherman is very mean to me. Well, you want to sort him out. I heard
Hey,
my
Bernie,
name.
that
I
that
heard the
sixth
name.
bridge project, is that something you're working on?
what is it now again?
The sixth bridge that you did in your video.
Oh,
a few
yeah.
months ago. Is that something where you work?
They will be done with it. A majority of the work will be done by August. So they'll probably have you could drive across it by August, I believe, this year. It's taken considerably longer than expected. And before they open it, I'll do another visit there. But they plan on doing stuff underneath as well, and I think they'll do that as time goes by. They're going to have shops and parks and
Nice.
transit hub and kind of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they're going to try to beautify this little area, which is pretty industrial right now.
Yeah. Well, that
But it's
would
going
be
to look pretty when it's done.
Scott's asking, do we really talk funny here?
I don't know how people in Minnesota talk.
Somebody mimicked it, and it's that Marcus did pretty good.
Yeah, there's definitely that
Accent.
Midwest accent, the Minnesota, North Dakota accent.
Don't you know?
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
I thought you were talking about backpack, jackpack,
Well,
backpack.
that too.
Yeah,
That
I'd
as
fit in.
well.
Parrot talk.
Bernie, talk to about this little hawks flying over the prey video.
The hawks flying over our.
The
I'm not-
hawks. You filmed two hawks in a field.
Okay, in a tree.
No, not in a tree. in a
flying?
field. In a field.
Okay, we have a wild bird sanctuary on our field is pretty big. I'm not quite sure how big it is, but I've heard 80 acres or something like that, and it's pretty big. And we're supposed to stay within it. And some of these birds come visit us, and we've never had any birds attack us. And those that do want to film the birds, we have to approach them kind of gingerly, and read their reaction. If you can, I've been doing it for so long, I can tell when a bird's uncomfortable, and I just kind of I bail off. But there's times that I'm able to follow birds, and it's It's a beautiful feeling. It's like you're flying with them.
Cool.
I thought, Bernie, I thought you were about to say you've got to approach them and read their contract for filming them.
The video I'm talking about, Bert, is this one. It's a very short video, but just watch this.
They weren't by the ground, were they?
Thank you very much.
They didn't seem very. Wait a minute.
I got lost.
Terry decides to go have a sandwich.
Can you run that again? I didn't see it.
He didn't see it. So I mean, the noise not bother. The noise didn't seem to bother them at all, did it?
Well, if you're jacking the stick around, your drone makes a lot more noise, and that was pretty smooth. That was in sport mode, which allows me to do smaller orbits, more controlled. I still find it very difficult to do tight little orbits in manual. Even medium-sized orbits, kind of hard. So, if I sport mode is very good, and I did that whole thing in sport mode. It was very smooth.
Yeah. Well, Jerry,
Thank you, Gary.
Voice hand. I missed a bit there. We got what's going on here? What is?
We've got really bad problems here today. I think
we're playing a game, so it's called Disappearing People.
Yeah, I think it's Spain.
Jackie's having internet problems there. She'll be back. With Jackie.
Pardon me.
No.
Red kites.
No, they're awful, aren't they?
Stay away from red kites.
So I would say that the birds in our area are acclimated to the drones. They don't take it. I don't think they take it as a something threatening. But I think the only thing that it might be disturbing for them as far as like wrecking their if they're trying to hunt. We've just added something weird to the mix. So they're very stealthy, and a drone isn't. So if they're trying to hunt, it only takes we're only around them for a few minutes, and then the rest of the day is theirs. But for the most part, they don't attack us. I'm more afraid of going down by the beach and having seagulls.
Gulls.
They are awful, aren't they?
Yeah, I've heard the gulls are the epitome of like if anything's going to attack a drone, it'll be a gull.
Crows as well.
Yeah, and ravens. One of the things, so where I fly there by the Snake River Canyon is right next to the Morley Nelson Birds of Prey Center. I have a good friend that is a vice president of that group, and I asked him about it, because just like what you're talking about, Bernie, the last thing any of us would want to do would be to bother any wildlife with our drones. Don't want to do that, right? But he told me that they have been using drones to check the raptor nests for eggs, because it saves them having to rappel down the cliff.
Yes.
To look at it, right? So and they can just do it with a drone
and
well,
zoomed in.
Yeah, exactly. Zoom in. What I found is those birds pay my drone no mind. I mean, no mind. They might look at it once and then it's nothing. Yeah.
Oh, the first time that I flew.
Have a look at mine. He came over, circled, came back again, and then he just left. I got away from him, but he was certainly having a good look.
I had a small drone about this big, and the first time one of the hawks came to the structure in our field, and I was able to get very close to him, and I wasn't worried about threatening him or him being threatened by me, but I was actually worried that he might just grab me and take off flying someplace. He wouldn't have, you know.
You'd have got some great footage, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you know when you do like a flyaway.
Yeah.
In front of the hawker toy and said, "Where do you think you're going?" Bernie's in
Return to
trouble.
home would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Brian said they're only born with seagulls. No, I haven't, because I've never flown near them.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Scottish seagulls are known to be way more polite.
Scottish? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's Toby videos. There's great captions on the hawks. And guess
There's got to be a punchline to this.
That was just a poor joke. And
I don't know about the
nearly as
Scottish
funny as what I thought it was.
The ones in Kent only go for ice cream.
I was in Central Park in New York, and my friend had just got a hot dog, and a bloody seagull took it out of her hand.
Yeah, I'd like to see a seagull take food out of my.
Oh, she didn't stand a chance. Yeah.
Well, we in other parts of the country they have monkeys that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Same in Gibraltar. The monkeys in Gibraltar, they'll just take anything.
Are they still there, Terry?
Yeah.
They'll take your purse.
Yeah.
They'll take your purse, your phone, your whatever, your glasses, your hat. They'll just obnoxious little boogers.
So,
Barbary apes.
Kev, have you been out flying at all? Have you flying that new bird of yours?
Not the big bird, only the little one, the Mini 2.
Why not the 3?
You got a nice new boy.
Lack of time, absolutely. But it's all ready to go.
Well, I think the next time I go fly, well, the weather is actually getting a little bit better, so maybe in a couple of weeks I'll be out flying again. Let's hope.
Yeah.
But
we're going on the 5th of April. I'm good for that, Jackie, by the way.
Oh, cool. It might be a different date now.
Why?
Different.
Yeah, we'll still go out on the 5th.
We'll go out on the 5th. Yeah, that's our day.
Go on the 5th, the 6th, and 7th, and the 8th.
Yes.
Oh, to have the weather, eh? Yeah.
I've got a new site in Cabo de Palos, by the way.
Cool.
Which at least is the problem you see in the UK. We get such rubbish weather all the time. You know? But Caroline says that the weather is far brighter, but the winds are still high.
Oh,
not good. Not good at all. But anyway, what else we got here? We've got some more videos of birdies here. Echo Park in the morning. Echo Park in the morning.
Okay.
Let's watch that one.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's a question for you there. What town is Echo Park in, Bernie?
Echo Park. I think they call it Echo Park.
Oh, was it?
So that is a park in Echo Park.
It's Echo Park.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a little bit of lag going on. I never heard the music slow like that before.
What the music is fading, is it?
So the one little, what I've been doing at my field lately is there's rows of trees, and it's really neat to fly along them. So you'll come, by one on this side, one on this side, and then a big one at the end, and I'll roll over the top. I mean, really like roll over very close and then come out. And that's such a roller coaster ride feeling that is just.
That's great. Yeah.
It's just so neat. Brian with Borders has dabbled in manual a little bit. He's doing remarkably well with the in sport, but interesting is when you fly a manual, do you adjust the sticks? The throttle stick, you have to remove the spring. It has to. Yep, it can't spring back to neutral.
No, because
What would happen if it did?
Well, it's
Pardon me? I don't think it'll allow you to fly.
It's 50% power, isn't it? You have to take off with it. You'd have to hold it down to take off.
I don't know if you could fly with it in the sprung position, but that eases your manual flying. But your sport and normal mode, you have to control up and down. It'll do the GPS hold and direction hold, but you have to control up and down. If you've left your stick down, it'll drop, or if you had your stick pegged, it'll go up.
But we talk about the left stick here, Bernie.
Left stick.
Yeah. So the left stick then. So obviously you take the spring out, so the thing sort of falls down to the bottom. Yeah.
Well, it'll stay where you leave it.
Right. So okay. So when you're lifting that up, what is that then do? Is acceleration?
Yes.
Because normally it's high, it's going up and down, isn't it? When you normally push that stick up, normally the drone goes up vertical.
Mode 2, isn't it?
Could you excuse me for a second? I'm going to get a little drone to show you, and I think that'll help immensely. Be right back.
Okay, thanks,
Jackie, take over. Entertainers.
Florida. Yeah, Florida.
I don't get the attraction of flying it in manual. I just don't get why people want to do that.
It's because you can. Well, one obviously you can do all the tricks and whatever. You can, I mean.
Oh, well, you can't do that in sport mode.
The dives, Jackie. Right, the dives. Am I correct, Steve and Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got right. So Bernie's going to explain now. So ordinarily, Bernie, when you've got that in sport mode or normal mode, you push the left stick up, the drone just rises. Okay.
Cool.
Right, but what does it do in acro mode?
Okay, if your drone is level, and you push up on the left stick, increasing the throttle, you're going to go straight up.
Right, it still does that. Right, okay, yep.
All right, I'm trying to do a side view here and trying to get level. So when you take off in sport mode, which I think that's what we all do. We land in sport or normal.
Yeah.
Everything stays level except for your elevation. You have to control that. If you're sinking, you have to give it a little bit. If you're rising, you reduce it a little bit. But if you're hovering, so from sport to manual, it will ask you to drop the throttle a little bit in the goggles. It'll prompt you to drop the throttle, and so you drop the throttle a little bit. There's an indicator that will go down a little bit, and then it'll say, okay, you are now in manual mode. So what I would do with the right stick is lean it forward just a little bit, a little push. That's all it does. Right. Now I give it throttle and to move it forward.
Okay.
So you have maximum lift this way. I'm trying to make it level. This would be the front side. maximum lift is when you're level. So when you tip it forward, you've lost some of your lift. And
Yeah.
if you don't give it any throttle, you're just
It'll go
definitely
down.
you're gonna go like that.
Yeah.
So everything that you do when you push forward, you go like this. And it's not like in sport mode. In order for you to go, you have to push the right stick forward. In normal mode, right stick forward to get you to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in manual, you just touch the stick a little bit and it goes like this. That's it. You let go of that stick and now you're just doing the throttle, and that'll indicate how fast you go.
Oh, so it keeps going then.
It keeps going. You hands off and it's moving. However you left it. If you left it
But
you can go a mile, not touch the sticks.
But if you want to obviously bank left or right, I'll take it you're still moving that left and right, the right stick left and right. Yep.
Yes, I'm doing this basically with both sticks. If I'm too low, I give a little more throttle.
Right.
But usually it's almost about the same. This is how you turn in manual.
See,
Very, very easy.
This is going to be fun, isn't it? You know, what the hell? These sticks have gone mind of their own. Help! Panic! Hit the panic button.
Yeah, the panic button will save you. It'll put you back in sport mode and hover until you figure stuff out.
I've got a funny feeling I've got a funny feeling that button's going to be worn out. I'll buy and get some spare ones.
You know the neat thing about Terry, I don't know have you experienced where well, you don't fly in manual or very little, right?
Very little. Well, never.
Okay. But have you had
Take off in manual. Ooh, yeah. I can see what that's going to end badly.
No, I saw Windswept Robert do that.
What is there to look out for when you take off in manual? Like who was that? Did they chime back in?
That was northeast.
No.
Take off in manual.
Yes,
I know.
I mean, I'm sure if you're experienced enough, because let's face it, you take off. You take an ordinary FPV drone, you've got no choice. You take off in manual. I mean, so there's no reason why you can't take off in manual. But it just seemed for me, everyone within a mile get away.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna have to YouTube that.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, not Brian. Windswept Robert. He took off in manual.
And crashed.
Well, Caroline's saying she does everything in manual.
Well, you have to, because if the drone hasn't got GPS or whatever, you haven't got much of a choice, really. Even though
Well, here's a DJI Bird is good intro to flying manual acro. You have the
crap button.
Oh, crap button.
that's my favorite button, panic button.
But here, I wanted to explain something real quick. So, in order for us to I take off in sport, and you do the sticks like you do any DJI, to the center and back, and that starts your motor. Then they have to be leery of your throttle stick. Too much in or way too much, and you're going to take off. But you two sticks together, and you start. That initiates the power, and then you give it throttle to go up. Now in acro, you have a disarm and an arm button. So your throttle is set all the way down. You hit your arm button. Your motors are spooling now, and you're in acro or manual.
Yeah.
And you give it throttle to go up and lean it forward, and you're going. But with the DJI, how do you do you have to do the?
Oh well, in order to take off, I don't know. I mean,
Caroline.
I don't. Windswept's not here anywhere. He's telling you,
not here today.
Oh, hang on.
Very interesting. Nothing. You just need to
jump through hoops. What? Hang on. You don't need to. Nothing. I'm a Mr. bit here because I don't run.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, hang on.
Yeah.
Well, I think you mean complicating things, jumping through hoops.
Not literally.
You can fly manual out or the stick. You just have to keep holding the stick.
All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that. I thought it was you couldn't fly a manual unless you took the spring off.
You know, no, because when Brian was talking about it, Bernie, I said to him, did you, the first question I asked him was, did you remove the spring? And he said no. But I thought he had to hold, I'm sure he had to hold it down. Didn't you have to hold it down, Brian? I'm sure he had to hold the stick.
No, he's saying you have to hold it.
But if it's sprung loaded, it has to be down at the bottom, then you have to hold it down. Otherwise, it's going to spring back to the middle, won't it?
I would imagine that this you let go of the throttle stick as you're flying. It's probably going to, you lean it forward so you're not elevating. And I would say that you would probably be doing about 40 or 45 with the stick in the middle.
But if you had that, if you had that stick in the middle, all you need to do is make sure you had enough lift, because otherwise you're just going to go flying into the ground, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's more if your stick is in the middle, you're probably going up. If you're not very pitched,
okay, yeah,
a better pitch, and you'd be moving.
Yeah, Brian says
hold it down.
Oh no, if you take off in sport mode, you get into manual. You need to set the stick so when it switches to manual, it's not going to do anything daft.
Wow.
But I can understand that. Yeah.
But that's what you were saying, Bernie. You saying that you had to sort of you move it down a little bit to stop it, so you had to move it down a bit until it tells you you're in the right place.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think here it's however you prefer it. If you want to take off in manual, it allows you to. Do you? Who was that? Northeast
FPV.
Northeast FPV.
Northeast FPV.
So what are you saying, Brian? Bernie, are you saying how do you actually take off in manual? Is that what you're asking the question?
How about your Northeast FPV? Do you land in manual too? Let's hear back from him, because my drone's expensive, and landing in manual or landing in sport is you can land it on a dime.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
It's holding itself GPS. By landing manual or sometimes. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. And because my craft.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Marcus, have you ever been sent any FPVs to test?
I actually had a company that they said they were going to send me one, and then it never arrived. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, I've actually had other companies ask me to, and I've turned them down.
Right,
They're different.
Can I ask Terry a question real quick?
Yeah, get on.
Terry.
Yes.
You have a couple drones, right?
Yes, I've got the FPV now, and I've got the Mini too.
And he's got a Cinewhoop.
And a Cinewhoop.
I've got the Cinewhoop. Yes.
Okay, what is your kind of favorite one to fly?
Not the Cinewhoop.
Not the Cinewhoop. No, I much prefer flying the DJI, but I don't do any acro or anything like that. I like doing what you do. I like going in and out of things and getting very, very low. As far as acro goes, nah, I'm scared.
You're not going to try it, Terry. I've got to try it. I've got to try it. I'm going to scare the life out of myself.
So it's very much like any DJI, except for it gives you a sensation of the flying, that not the fakey FPV that the other drones you could put in FPV mode and it was like you barely touch a stick and it goes like this. Or it goes like this.
Well,
I think it was
I had a comment the other day. I was flying it manually, not manually, but I was looking at it in visual, and my sister-in-law had it on, and she was trying to look out of the side windows to see the wing, and that's how. Yeah, so I kept looking out of the side to see how long the side, and it was so effective. And she was Uncle Richard, didn't he? He absolutely loved it.
She was in it. That's
exactly
that's so neat for you to feel like that.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, I was throwing it around a little bit, but I was not a little bit, a lot.
That'll give him the experience, didn't you?
It did indeed. Yeah, when it landed, I was looking out of the side window to see what I could see.
Let's watch another video. This one's called Bell Canyon Castle Peak.
Oh, I like this one. Nice.
Yeah.
Now, were you standing on the top, Bernie?
No, I was at the bottom.
That on the top.
Way down.
Yeah.
See, now I would have climbed to the top to fly it.
Yeah, but someone got up to someone and forgot what I got up there for. Now, what did I come up here for? Oh, I'll come back down again.
But it was very windy that day. So when I approached the hill at the very end, I was leaning in towards it because it was pushing me away. But I do like that one a lot because of the roller coaster sensation riding kind of stuff.
I like how you hug the
Following the
mountain ridge.
contours.
Yeah, you hug the ridges. It's great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, you've made this the DJI drone. You're actually making it look what it's. When they advertised that, they showed all lot of people flying it and doing close to hugging.
Right.
And you're doing it. You're doing what it says on the tin, as it were. You've got the rest of us to catch up with. Brian's better the only one who's going to happen, I think.
But no, I, as I said earlier, I quite like flying it very low.
Yeah.
When we went to Five Eyes and round there, and you're flying it low in amongst the scrub and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's quite exciting. It really
That's
is.
when you get to really feel like you're speeding, isn't it?
And as you say, and that's right what we're saying, that the closest to the ground you are, the faster the thing seems that you're going. I mean, you can be sort of up high and you're flying at 60 miles an hour and you've got no reference to speed, have you?
No, not at all. And of course, when you see a gap, you've got to go through it, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I like this part.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it in my stomach when I'm flying and I go up and over something like this. It's amazing.
Hey, Bernie, I have a question for you. So, how stick movement wise, how do you actually do those dives?
Turn off.
You would. You're in manual, so you're basically coasting, hands off, coasting in a direction. So your movements are very little. You're not really doing very much. So when I'm going up and over something, I'll start decreasing throttle and tipping it over, pushing it forward a little bit, and decreasing throttle and let it fall.
Okay.
And just let it fall, and this is a little heavier than most of these freestyle FPVs, so you're not going to take it all the way to the bottom. You have to flare out a little bit sooner because it's a potato.
Because otherwise you probably would hit the ground.
If you didn't decrease the throttle, you'd end up just doing roly-polies, would you, in the air?
Well, if you keep the stick forward, you just keep going like this.
Yeah.
Forward.
I get
So
it.
your stick movements are very,
They've got to work together, yeah.
very, very little. Yeah. But that's so much fun to go up, reduce the throttle and nose it over, especially if you're going over something that, you can see the stuff coming, like parts of the tree or parts of the mountain. Oh,
I need a cheap, robust FPV so that I can fly it and not.
Well, actually, that one Bernie's got there. I mean, that little drone.
The little Cinewoop?
I mean, that'd probably right to fly around flying outside, but you can fly indoors, couldn't you?
They're a completely different concept, though, Jackie. They
Yeah.
really are different to fly. Very, very different.
But I mean, you could get a small, Jackie. I'm sure you could fly something like this.
Yeah.
This is a $20 drone.
Yeah.
It has.
Miles to that,
I
you
think
miles
you can
to
get 3 modes. You could have 3 modes out of this. Horizon. That means when you let go of the stick, it stays like this. It gives you a little bit of angle, and then angle mode gives you more angle, and you can actually go like this. You let go of the stick, and it goes back to level. And then you can go manual. But it's like $20. But you need the goggles, and you need the radio.
That, I'm guessing, is the more expensive part.
Kind of, yeah. But the
I'm
radio
saying,
and the goggles work on everything. Simulator. Yeah, do the simulator.
I think that's the way to go, because at the end of the day, you know, the simulator. I think the simulator. Have you tried it, Bernie? The DJI one.
I have not tried it. I can't. I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't heard anything bad about
that's what I was going to say. Oh, could you try it and let us know what you think of it? Seriously, I mean, I know you don't need it, but you know what I mean. But they're all pointing. Why are they all pointing to you, Terry?
I don't know. I'm just looking for a simulator for Jackie. I've got one in my book.
I've changed the subject. You can tell me that later.
Oh no, we've got 8 minutes yet.
8 minutes.
7 minutes.
Should we do it then?
7.
Oh, ready?
I got.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Since I've been conned into it. Did you say wait? Don't go yet.
No, we're right. We're good.
You ready?
Yes.
Farmer stopped by a local garage to have his truck fixed. Noticed that the price of gasoline was quite high, and they couldn't do anything for him at the moment, so he had to wait. He said he didn't live far, and he would just walk home. And on the way home, he stopped at the hardware store and bought a bucket and a gallon of paint. He then stopped by the market, picked up a couple of chickens and a goose. However, struggling outside the market, he now had a problem: how to carry his entire purchases home. While he was scratching his head, he was approached by a little old lady who told him she was lost. She asked, "Can you tell me how to get to Church Lane?" Farmer said, "Well, as a matter of fact, my farm is very close to the lane. I would walk you there, but I can't carry this lot." The old lady suggested, "Why don't you put the can of paint in the bucket? Carry the bucket in one hand, put the chicken under each arm, and carry the goose in your other hand." "Why, thank you very much," he said, and proceeded to walk the old girl home. On the way, he said, "Let's take my shortcut and go down the alley. We'll be there in no time." The little old lady looked at him overcautiously and said, "I'm a lonely widow without a husband to defend me. How do I know that when we get in the alley, you won't hold me against the wall, pull up my skirt and have your way with me?" Farmer said, "Jesus, lady, I'm carrying a bucket and a gallon of paint, 2 chickens and a goose. How in the world would I possibly hold you against the wall and do that?" The old lady replied, "Set the goose down, cover it with a bucket, put the paint on top of the bucket, and I'll hold the chickens."
Terry's Joke of the Week.
How was that?
Oh, Terry, I just thought like Gary's not here.
Oh, Gary's not here, is he? No.
Oh no.
Caroline will grade it. Look, she's giving you 3 laughy faces.
Caroline did, and pictures.
Hey, does Marcus have anything to share with us?
You know, I'll tell you, Bernie. The last time I flew was with Tanya. She's in the chat not yesterday, but the Saturday before. I haven't been flying, sadly, and I don't really have any good excuse.
Withdrawal symptoms, Marcus.
Yeah,
I've got a good excuse. I've been camping for the week.
I've been camping.
I've been camping.
Camping.
Yep. No, not
Hey,
canteen.
Elaine's in the house. There he is, Vernon.
I'm telling you,
Hey?
Hey, I want to say this: that with all this talk
Times go
about the
flying tomorrow. Times go flying tomorrow, Marcus.
oh, nice.
My batteries are charged. I'm going to fly this afternoon, and sunset is let's see, 4 hours from now. Hopefully,
Wow.
I will get a nice little clippet that I can share with you as far as like doing these little runs over the trees and then doing this whee up and over something.
But Bernie, we've got more light now, don't we? So
Yeah, we
that-
do now.
Yeah,
We
it
do.
gives us more of a chance. And all this talk about the FPV drone makes me think I ought to take the damn thing out and fly it.
Oh,
Yep. Put it,
Elaine is late.
I think you should put it
Yeah.
in manual mode, Marcus, and put us all to shame.
Yeah,
Hey,
just show it.
but what I did though, Steve, is my first flight I put it in sport mode.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you do, but it just wasn't.
Steve,
Elaine, she's been hiding. Look, very late joining the show.
Whatever it is, Bernie, Jack, you shouldn't have said it, Jackie. Oh no.
Oh no! What?
Yeah.
I said it earlier, didn't I? I can't say it now. She's definitely here, can I?
No, never mind.
No,
That's your bed gone for the weekend droning trip.
Yeah, Kim's right as well. Kim's I want a nice sunny, windless weekend.
Don't we all?
Well, it doesn't happen very often, Kim. We're in the UK, mate, so you know it's
Well, we've got a lot of wind at the moment, but otherwise it's been okay.
You speak for yourself, Mr. Horse.
That's all that camping and baked beans, mate.
Yeah. I ate Spanish actually. We had one meal out, and it was a beautiful, beautiful big bowl.
I was actually going to say, by the way, that I'm very intrigued about that place you went and had the paella or paella.
Paella.
That was nice. I want that. Where was
Oh,
that?
that was
what, the one at La Fortaleza?
La Fortaleza.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, we'll go up there. I'll take you up there because we've got to go to La Pedrera and then we go to Fortaleza.
that restaurant was brilliant. Do you know what, Steve? My uncle managed to leave his Galaxy Samsung tablet thing there.
Oh, that's that place.
And they
is it?
kept
Oh,
it
okay.
safe for him till we realised we'd lost it, realised where we'd lost it, and went back and got it.
And had another meal.
No.
Had dessert.
But they're definitely a good
I wanted to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I have a place that I fly at all the time. It's I go there anytime I want, and there's always usually somebody there. The crowds change. We don't contact each other, or sometimes it's very rare that we would. We go, hey Joe, do you want to meet at the field? Let's go. And but you just go there and you see who you're going to see. But we never really go anywhere. It seems like you really have to wrestle at like, oh, hey, Joe, let's go fly this bridge. Let's go fly this river. Let's go fly this whatever. And where the drone seekers actually get together and go do things together, 4, 5, 6, 10 people.
Yep.
And that's something I don't have, but I do have a place that we all just go to without having to coordinate something.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool that the drone seekers do these little outings with whoever can show up.
I think Bernie's become pretty much, especially more especially in Spain, from my point of view. I mean, obviously we have been out in the UK. I mean, we've been out, Kevin, with Tim and Kim Rama and Tim actually. So we do, but the thing is known in the UK, is known where to go. In Spain, there's a lot of places to go within an hour's drive. So,
and
Jackie, it's always Jackie and I that arrange it.
Yeah.
Jackie,
I'm not complaining about that because we've got nice people that go with us. And invariably, I've been flying for a while. Jackie's been flying for a while. We know the places to go.
Jackie makes some really good videos. So when Jackie makes a video of one of the outings, it's definitely worth watching because it's entertaining. It's just, thank you very much for doing that, Jackie. It makes me feel like I'm part of the, going out there you know,
Have you seen the latest one?
70,000 miles away.
Yeah,
Have you seen the latest one, Bernie?
No, I haven't. And I
Reservoir
was
drones.
what?
Reservoir
Reservoir
Jones.
drones.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's the star of the Reservoir Jones.
Isn't it?
yeah.
What a guy!
Yeah.
What a guy!
He is,
I will
yeah.
watch and I will leave a comment. I already
Yeah.
know it's good. I actually kind of was saving it for when I got home and I had Wi-Fi and I could watch it on the big screen because
Oh, cool.
they're good to watch.
But the
Thank you.
one thing I've actually realised though is the one thing I've realised. Well, Jackie does it, and you especially, Bernie, you do it. Your videos are very short and sweet.
Yes.
And I think that's the answer to it. How would you have a chance to get bored watching it? It's over before it's
Over
done.
and done with. Yes, Elaine, you are nice. We all like you. You're a good asset to our club.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I
Thanks for having
actually
me.
No, that was Elaine,
We're
not
just
Bernie.
reading Caroline's comment.
and Bernie.
Bernie.
Oh, no, Terry, you've upset Bernie
Oh,
now.
hang on, I'll say that again. Reprise.
I must admit, I thank everyone for all the support and the drone seekers. Oh my God, just take him.
Subway?
That's the big one you got, Marcus.
I had a nice roast.
How's a foot long?
I had a nice
Terry
roast.
just wanted
Come in this
home.
way. Come in this
Now,
way.
now I'm looking. Is that a Subway? Subway?
Listen
Yeah,
to
it's
Subway.
Subway. Yeah. Yeah.
What is it then? Is it
If I had a Subway, we could fake this. You know, you hand it to me and I pull it from everything and then pass it this way.
I think the classic Terry's when I come over to you and I made it and I come into your room and take your
That was brilliant.
And then we looked over each other's shoulders. That was so
and I
funny.
go, how the hell did you do that? Magic.
Simple,
Pure
mate.
magic. But right, anyway.
Oh
So,
dear.
what is the time? That was 1 hour and
Yeah,
3
it's
minutes.
gone. An hour's
Bloody-
gone
She gave me
already.
some.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Look.
No, Caroline, you're lovely as well.
Yeah, we're looking
Caroline,
forward to having
she's
Caroline on
left.
the show.
Now you're not.
Caroline, you're still up to come on the show, but Caroline, I need a way of contacting you. I don't know if you do Facebook, but if you can look me up on Facebook on Drone Seekers and just message me so we can send you an invite, come and join us on the show. She said,
Yes, we'll pick your ear.
indeed.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, just go on Facebook, Drone Seekers or whatever, and just send PM a message to us, and we'll do that. Anyway, so thanks ever so much for your support and watching again tonight. And Bernie, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
There you go.
thanks, Bernie.
And
Good old
Love
Bernie.
Bernie.
keep up the good work, and let us know how you go. When you do get a minute, Bernie, just try that what do you call it, simulator. See how you get on. Just let me know what you think of it. But right, no, thanks very much, everyone, and
Thanks for having me.
we've got to try and work out how to get out of this one place. But anyway, see you next week.
See you
Take
next
care.
time.
Bye-bye.